Share the link. Give it a like. Let's go. Huge show. Chat, have a case of the Mondays, or are you fired up? I can't hear you! Good morning, internet friends. Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you for joining me today, June 29th, 2026. So much to cover. We got some good Goys, Sneako versus Rabbi Mizrachi clips, and a bunch of other stuff. We're going to get right into it. Starting first with Trump's latest bombing Iran again. He says, United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations. The coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. There may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to military complete the job that we were successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. President DJT. U.S. bombs Iran military, surveillance comms, air defense, drone storage, mine layers, according to the Pentagon. Yeah, I'll do a Oliver Tree intro. That's a good idea. All right. Amalek says here, what a timeline. What a fucking timeline are we living in where this is how they're promoting the Noahide laws. Rabbi Burrell Solomon, Moshiach, Rabbi enjoyer, who I just interviewed Lucas. I think I saw one little clip of it. We need to go watch that whole thing. That might have to be a night watch for tonight. Let's see this. Let's see his latest Goyim outreach video here. But the Noahide laws.
Class is in session. Be a good Goy. The hands are the hands of Esau, but the voice is the voice of Jacob. You don't think we see you? We hear you. So I decided to climb out of my tunnel and educate you. If you follow what I'm about to tell you, you will have a part in the world to come. These are called the 7 Noahide laws.
Dude, this is like Jewish TikTok brain proselytizing to the Goy. Rewind it. You are missing what he is putting on the screen. No, I didn't. I didn't miss it. He made his arms hairy like Esau. Okay, I missed that.
Be a good Goy. The hands are the hands of Esau, but the voice is the voice of Jacob. You don't think we see you? We hear you. So I decided to climb out of my tunnel and educate you.
This is sick.
If you follow what I'm about to tell you.
This will not work, but it goes kind of hard for like a Jew on TikTok. But it's not going to work. It's just
you will have a part in the world to come. These are called the 7 Noahide laws. Class is in session. Number 1, don't worship false gods. That means celebrities, money, and people. Yes, even this guy. Number 2, don't curse God.
Oh my God.
You're not allowed to mock him. He created you. He created me. And you better give him respect.
So you can't mock him or his chosen people or their books or their prophecies. No mocking allowed. Otherwise, no share in the world to come. Oh, Anne-Marie got a power chat in. I forgot. Powerchat.live, most important thing. Keeps the show going. Food on the table for my children. Every dollar helps. The show's only made possible thanks to you guys. Powerchat.live/knowmorenews. We've been demonetized and fully lost like all my income like 5 times, going on 5 times now. The debanking, the deplatforming, and the censoring still going thanks to you guys. But not going very well.
Number 3, don't murder. You didn't give someone life, and you don't have the right to take that life away.
When you say don't mock God, what you're really, because there is no God, it's just what the Jews say is God. So they're saying no mocking Jews or their Torah or their religion or their prophecies. You act like they're secretly worship Satan. No, they want to have you don't come in the world if you don't believe in their God. This is very crusader pilled. Yeah, who's this for? Do you think, is this going to, imagine how dumb of a goy you have to be to go to fall for some kind of spiel like this.
Number 4, don't cheat on your wife and don't cheat on your husband.
Who of these men wants to become a daddy?
The family relationship is sacred. That's where children are born. New life is created, treated as such. Number 5, don't steal.
Where's my money?
Number 6, don't eat animals alive. Animals are God's creation too, and they need to be respected. And number 7, create and support a legal justice system. Protect the innocent and punish the wrongdoers. Oh, and just for the record, ChatGPT, what does goy mean?
In biblical Hebrew, goy means a nation or a people.
I'm literally switching sides. I am not one of you people. I am not a stupid goy.
Wow. Good ending. 100 likes. Groypers welcome. See through it all. Do I even have to say it? That's crazy. Okay. Got to see the Lucas Gage interview with him. The Unitarian Jesus push is gaining steam, says the Orthodox Jew. Unitarian, Noahide compliant, not idolatrous. No Trinity, which they will blame and dismiss as Gentile, Roman idolatry. Sort of like how the Muslims do it.
Jesus was an observant Jew. We can call him an Orthodox Jew. He was going to the temple, to the Beis HaMikdash. He was doing everything that you would expect a Jew to do today. And I actually have doubts if he would be going into a church if he showed up today. Like the Christians are waiting for him to return. They can return, and then, let's say a woman, oh, Jesus, don't touch me. I'm not allowed to touch women. That's a Shomer Negia, right? Is he even allowed to go into a church? He's going to see a graven image on the wall made out of wood and stone or gold. I can't pray here. I'm sorry. He says, but that's you. I'm not allowed to pray here. They never made an image of Moses. They never made an image of King David. They didn't even make an image, right? So I can't pray here. This is an image of a man made out of, wood and rock. There's this question.
This is really what Jews say about Jesus, too, and think about Jesus, is that he was just some Jewish guy that got killed by the Romans, and that the Gentiles twisted the story and corrupted it. And Paul was a Roman agent, and the Gentiles took it and twisted it and made it idolatrous.
Of idolatry. This is what the Torah says. You shall not make a graven image out of wood and out of, it literally says all these things. So I'm worried that the Christians might be shocked. And we believe in the resurrection. We believe that in the resurrection of the dead. The Jewish people believe that Hashem is trusted. This is part of our prayer. We say this 3 times a day. And you are trusted to resurrect the dead. Blessed are you, Hashem, the resurrector of the dead. We say this every day. So that for the Christians that want to know if we, in Galatians where it says the things that you need to believe in order to be a good Christian, you'll be surprised. The Jews believe all of that, So there's that. What do? Jesus is a good teacher. And if you can say, like, he's my Rebbe, he's my rabbi, he's my prophet, he's the one who brought me closer to Hashem. You know, if there was elections in the Sanhedrin and my Sanhedrin representative was sitting in the Sanhedrin, I would tell him, oh, choose Jesus. Okay, fine, that's okay. That's okay. We have the establishment of the hierarchy and how things work already written in the Torah. We have the 70 elders. They went up to Mount Sinai with Moses.
Dude, what Jews actually say about Jesus, so different than any of the E-Crusaders ever want to admit to. That's crazy. Add that to the highlight compilation. Download that one. Add that to the new mix.
We have the ministers of 1,000, ministers of 100, ministers of 50, ministers of 10. There's a whole structure later. The Mishnah is written, the Talmud is written, this whole Chazal, the sages, the elders, and today we call them the rabbis. This whole system has been with an unbroken chain since Mount Sinai going on.
Thank you, Marie. Power chats.
On been loving the replays. Finish the book. Keep up the great work and hail the old gods.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. I hope you like the book. We're doing another. Oh, Macrometer. Thank you.
Sent $100. We only need one. Noahide law stories are not reality.
Right. Thank you, Macrometer. You're the man, dude. Thank you for making really picking up the slack around here. Appreciate you, bro. I forgot what I was gonna say. Here we go.
Throughout Israel. So to have a leader that brings you closer to Hashem, that's okay.
Oh, the book, right? I was gonna say book club tonight. Substack private Zoom call book club. We're doing the pagan parallels to Christianity. Last week we did Dead Sea Scroll parallels to Christianity.
That's not a contradiction.
You sign up there on Substack, support the channel. You get all the archives of all the every chapter of the book read and reviewed.
So to say that Jesus is my Rebbe or Jesus is my Moses, Jesus is my prophet, I don't see an issue with that.
Link below.
And now, just for the record, Dustin, if someone is not Jewish, according to Jewish law, we technically don't hold it against them to believe in shittuf, which means a partnership. But that's because we don't expect them to be studying Torah on the level of.
See, that's
Alabama
important too.
Yeoman sent $0 on 4 out of 5 rabbis recommend. Rabbi Lowell like the old commercials that said 4 out of 5 doctors recommend whatever product, etc.
That's a good idea for a meme. I like that. 4 out of 5 rabbis recommend Jesus. Rabbi Jesus for the Goy. Cures paganism. Good one.
Of even a biblical scholar like yourself. The typical guy on the street might need.
See what he said? He says they say it's okay if you're a Gentile to have a little bit of idol worship as long as it's the Jewish Messiah and bringing you closer to Hashem. That's what they say. So when you're crying up, like Will Sexton, Vrilliam says like, oh, or anybody says, oh, they want to destroy Christianity. They want to, really, it's only the Trinity. It's only a version of Christianity. They want to modify it and make it more philo-Semitic and Noahide and not Trinitarian, but they don't even care. They still consider you Noahides. The fear-mongering about the Noahides when you're a Christian is missing the whole point. You're already a Noahide.
For his from the limited place that he understands God, to have some kind of picture or some kind of image that will remind him of Hashem. And therefore, in Jewish law, we never held it against a non-Jew to believe in shittuf, which means a partnership. That being said, for a Jew to believe in that, we don't. That would be considered a problem for a Jew. So shittuf means partnership as long as they believe in the.
See, not for Jews, only for Gentiles. That's their position. And that's what how Christianity actually started as well. Clearly for the Gentiles, with Paul targeting the Gentiles. It was this figure they extrapolated from the scripture through Midrash was to be rejected, was to go to a nation that did not call upon his name.
One Hashem. And by the way, Dustin, one last thing I'll say. If we're comparing Islam to Christianity to Judaism, Christianity is much better than Islam in the fact that they're not blowing up buses, they're not using terror or violence to get their message across. So in that way, when it comes to danger and life endangerment, which is more important than the entire Torah, in other words, we will desecrate the Shabbat if it's in order to save somebody's life. So when it comes to life saving, the Christian is light years ahead of our Muslim brothers, right? But when it comes to this ideology question, Muhammad was able to get it straight with them for all of his errors. When it comes to this thing, he was able to somehow get it right with them, and they didn't. But again, I don't blame Jesus, because again, a biblical scholar like yourself, with some effort, you can also see that Jesus wasn't directing his people to a Trinity. It's just misinterpretation and other things. But for whatever reason,
called it. See, that's what they say. I've seen so many Jews say that. The Trinity came later from the Gentiles. Jesus isn't to blame. See how they actually see Jesus.
God's ways are mysterious. When it comes to Islam, with this thing, they actually got it right. That being said, obviously, the fact that they listen to their Ayatollah, the Shia at least, they listen to Ayatollah Khomeini, and then on the Sunni side, you have the ISIS members, the Daesh, which is like the radical on the Sunni side. You have the radicals on the Shia side. So they also fall off when it comes to the violence element. But when it comes to the unity of Hashem, the Rambam Maimonides says
Shavan says Jesus does not redeem our.
Yeah, I hope. It'll be funny watching her do a big conversion, though, because I did predict that might happen when he's running.
On the Sunni side, you have the radicals on the Shia side.
She looks like she was putting her foot down.
So they also fall off when it comes to the violence element. But when it comes to the unity of Hashem, the Rambam Maimonides says that the Jews are allowed to pray in a mosque because there's no question that they're praying to one God. When it comes to a church, we don't know. I know that there's some churches that they don't have a cross on the wall. And like you said, some individual Christians don't have this Trinitarian mindset and they pray to the Father. But because we can't take that risk, and right now the Vatican is not helping very much. I mean, they're wrapping up Jesus in a keffiyeh, and now he's Palestinian because it's politically convenient. And then we have they're rolling in they had the piece of ice from the praying for global warming or something. So they're very creative with the way they're doing things. And unfortunately, the reality is, I think that most
he's clowning on the Pope blessing the ice for global warming. Remember that stunt?
Christians don't like what's happening in the Catholic Church right now, but because there's no other leadership to guide the flock, and to create a statement, it creates this question, and we don't want a Jewish person can't risk that.
He's trad Catholic. He's pro trad Catholic against the woke Pope. Isn't that funny?
That question, every church is different, so that's where we're holding. All right.
There's about to be a schism in the church.
Jesus was
with the Latin Mass people. Ordaining priests unapproved by the Vatican. They're about to excommunicate those trad real Catholics. The don't like Vatican II Catholics. All right. Rabbi Mizrachi says he wants all Goyim to follow the Noahide laws. Now on to the he sat down with the chimpanzee clown, as he called him, Sneako. So Sneako's bringing the goods. I got to hand it to him. This week, he gave us some content gold with the Spencer versus Muslim friend. And then now he's got Mizrachi on, getting impressed by Muslims. And another rabbi comes on, I think, at some point. Some other Jewish guy. I still didn't see the clip of him saying he wants to have me on from the super chat.
Okay, so would you prefer that people convert to Judaism or that they follow the Noahide laws? Because I know that there's a distinction. When I run into the Jews spreading, Judaism in public, it seems like they want the Goyim to follow the 7 Noahide laws.
Absolutely. The Goyim have to follow their purpose, which is to keep the 7 laws of Noah. They can be righteous Gentiles. They go to heaven when they die. They have no obligation to become Jewish. It's not easy to be a Jew. There's a lot of commandments to follow, and the lifestyle is very strict. And if the Gentile doesn't have an obligation, why putting him through that? So that's basically the general rule. But, some Gentiles it's not enough for them. They insist, they push, they want to convert to Judaism. If that's the case, then I help them to convert. But the first priority is to push them to fulfill their mission in life, which is
their mission in life to become Noahides. Your purpose is not to become Jewish Gentiles. It's to serve the Jews as Noahides. And abandon your gods and worship the God that chose them.
Is to be righteous, good people, Gentiles, followers of God, believe in one God. No fake religions. There are thousands of fake religions and cults that came after Judaism, not just Islam and Christianity, Buddhism and Hinduism. There's thousands of others. All of them are fake. None of them has any.
He thinks Buddhism and Hinduism came out of the Torah. That's crazy. That's some delusion.
Anything to do with God. And the Gentiles, all they have to do is just to keep the 7 laws. They can Google it. It's very easy. Most Gentiles keep about 5 or 6 of them as it is already. You know, they have to make some adjustment, and they'll be righteous Gentiles. As long as they're not racist, anti-Semites, that they don't hate people because of their race, because of their color, because of their nationality.
Dude, I've never seen Mizrachi's nose look so big before. It's this like whatever phone he's on or camera, you know, it's looking wide. The focal thing looks like it's growing or something. Hardly recognize him.
So they are decent people. They keep everything that is.
Okay. So we got a few clips from this. Here's Goat Mizrachi destroys Islam.
Why would all religions that came after Judaism are all fake? For very simple proof. If God wanted to give another religion later on, he would make it in a public event. Why would he come to Muhammad in a desert with no witnesses, nobody saw it, and give him something, or come to Mary in a dream?
There were witnesses. There were witnesses.
No.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, dude, it doesn't even look like a Jewish nose either. It just looks super wide. Like, he doesn't have the typical, like, kind of like bump hook on the nose. Maybe he does if you turn sideways, but it's just like really wide. Never noticed that before.
Big event. Why would he come?
It might have grown a lot recently. Noses and ears are like the one thing that always keep growing on men, apparently.
Come to Muhammad in a desert with no witnesses, nobody saw it, and give him something, or come to Mary in a dream.
There were witnesses. There were witnesses.
No.
Witnesses saw Angel Gabriel give the Quran to Muhammad?
According to Islam, Muhammad was alone, and Angel Jibril gave him the Quran.
And they transcribed it. And also, you said that he can't read or write. So if he wasn't able to read or write, how was he able to create this book? And how was he able to? How was he able to?
Mongoloid. I don't even know what that is. A Mongol?
Transcribe this and be able to have this written. If he was exactly, so he was illiterate, but he was able to have this book delivered through him without any error, without any mistakes.
Oh my God. Imagine believing that story. That makes me think that there was no Muhammad, unless Muhammad just like had somebody else write it and give it to him, claim to have it. That's your origin story? Like, oh, he couldn't read or write, but then he wrote the best a book from God. Just sounds like a movie script.
I never saw a prophet that was ignorant, doesn't even know how to read and write, that ever God gave him a prophecy.
Not ignorant, but that actually proves that Islam is the true religion.
No,
if he was able to repeat this Quran without any errors.
I want to ask Eve something real quick. Taking longer than usual.
Sorry about that. I'm up and running now. What can I help you with?
Does the Quran say that there were witnesses that saw the Quran given to Muhammad from Angel Gabriel?
No, the Quran does not say there were any human witnesses who saw the Quran being given to Muhammad by Angel Gabriel. It affirms that the Quran was revealed through Gabriel. For example, Quran 2:97 says Gabriel brought it down to the Prophet's heart by Allah's permission. Surah An-Najm Pranaris 53-12 describes the Prophet's vision of the mighty messenger, understood as Gabriel on the horizon, teaching him the revelation, but this is presented as the Prophet's own experience, not something others observed. The first revelation in the cave of Hira, the main encounters with Gabriel,
all right,
in
hold
most
on.
instances
Another question. So was it confirmed, translated by people immediately?
Yes, pretty much. As soon as a verse was revealed to Muhammad, he'd immediately recite it to his companions, and scribes would write it down right then on whatever they had: palm leaves, bones, leather, stones. He had dozens of dedicated scribes, like Zayd ibn Thabit and others, who'd write it as he dictated, then read it back to him for confirmation. It wasn't translated into another language. It stayed in Arabic from the start, but it was recorded and verified on the spot by the people around him.
That's what I meant. So he says there was no witnesses. You should totally watch my video I post on this sometimes, says Amalek. Let's see. Oh, okay. Cool. How Muslims understand its authorship of the Quran.
Vincent now sent $50. Do you think it will start flooding Reddit and Wikipedia with mythicism that Google and AI would stop saying there is historical evidence for Jesus?
I don't know about Wikipedia, but yeah. Like, that's already happening on YouTube and a lot of places, actually. Just kind of how, like, the CQ is winning in the replies a lot and everywhere on the internet. Like, the mythicism is kind of doing well on the internet also. Yeah, this looks good. Who secular historians think likely produced it? How Jewish and Christian it was? That does sound good. For another day, though. We got a lot of Sneako clips here. Says
Judaism in public, it seems like they want. Okay, so would you prefer that people convert to Judaism or that they follow the Noahide laws? Because I know that there's a distinction. When I run into the Jews spreading, Judaism in public, it seems like they want the Goyim to follow the 7 Noahide laws.
Absolutely. The Goyim have to follow their purpose.
All right, that's the clip we already saw. All right. He really tried the Islam is older than Judaism line.
And then come back to me.
The land belongs to the.
And then come back to me.
The land belongs to the Muslims, Rabbi. God gave it to us 4,000 years ago on Sinai. You want to talk about it, Rabbi? To the Muslims, yes. King David was a Muslim. The ancient Israelite state is a Muslim.
How was he Muslim if Islam started only 1,300 years ago and King David lived 3,000 years ago?
Oh, good question. How was Abraham a Jew according to the Talmud? Following the well, let me finish. Let me finish, brother, please.
Sneako, I gotta go. Please, you can continue.
You can answer one question. I spoke to two people.
I gotta go. I have other things to do. I was supposed to be until 9. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate having me on your show.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Thank you.
I care about the truth.
According to the Talmud, Abraham kept the Torah and the rabbinic commands of the Torah. That's in the Talmud. So if they want to talk about anachronism, well, how on earth could David be?
Yeah. The Talmud says that they adopted stuff from the Torah. That's true, exactly.
Be a Muslim if Islam didn't come. Well, how?
Oh my gosh. And that's not running away either. Isn't that at the end of the interview? How long did he do with him? All right. Mizrachi gives a list of reasons, Sneako, on why he thinks that Islam was one of the most accurate copies of Judaism. Dude, Judaism 3.0.
Okay, first of all, you should know there are a lot of attempts to imitate Judaism. Islam is actually one of the better ones. There's other imitations that are...
Yeah, there's about to be a Captain Tazariak Mizrahi debate. Or did that one kid, Matan, do that already? I know I saw a picture going around of, I think, the both of them in some other debate again recently.
Very, very bad. Islam, they copy many of the laws of Judaism, like they don't eat pork, they don't charge interest from each other, they want to help the poor, and their wives are more modest, they pray 5 times a day, they wash their hands, they copy many of the things that the Jews do. Remember, Judaism is 2,000 years before Islam started. Judaism, it was the only main religion all over the world. It's before Buddhism, it's before Islam, it's before Christianity. It's 2,000 years before Islam, and it's 1,300 years before Christianity. Okay.
It's actually way younger than that. Only like 3rd, 4th century BCE for the Christians.
First of all, you should know there are a lot of attempts to imitate Judaism. Islam is actually one of the better ones. There's other imitations that are very, very bad. Islam, they copy many of the laws of Judaism, like they don't eat pork, they don't charge interest from each other, they want to help the poor, and their wives are more modest, they pray 5 times a day, they wash their hands, they copy many of the things that the Jews do. You know, remember, Judaism is 2,000 years before Islam started. Judaism, it was the only main religion all over the world. It's before Buddhism. It's before.
I'm playing it twice. My bad. Didn't realize. All right, let's see. And Rabbi Mizrachi has a new documentary out. New end of days movie he made. Amalek's got clipped up. Let's get this. Let's see just like a little bit of this real quick. Dude, he's Oliver Tree maxing right now. Mizrachi's Oliver Tree.
Galut Ishmael,
mogging.
The exile of Ishmael.
Sober Jeff, thank you.
Sober Jeff Hardy sent $0 on towards the goal. Looking forward to the Mizrahi Black Israelite kosher cinema.
Yeah. Kosher dialectical theater, exactly. Abrahamic circle jerk. Judeo echo chamber. That's what that is. A whole lot more of that. That's why it was so good, though, that at least he had Spencer on last week, Sneako, to break through the Abrahamic paradigm rhetoric.
Who is Ishmael? When Ishmael was born, the Torah says a few things about him. First of all, he's the son of Avraham Avinu from Hagar. The Tanaim, the Amoraim, and
okay, we don't need a whole history.
Go on fire.
This is all AI too?
The righteous Gentiles who survive and the righteous Jews. Everybody knows there's no disagreement about that.
This cult, dude. This Judeo cult and its appendages. All right. Massive wars. Okay, here we go. Massive wars will destroy the haters of God. Who's this guy? Is this like Mizrahi's assistant or something? They brought him on screen? 2-on-1? Or it was 2-on-2?
The ideal situation would be that all Jews would be religious and learn the Torah and be decent people, and there will be no lefty liberal and no haters of God and no gays and none of those things that it's against the Torah. But unfortunately, we're not in this situation. But soon, we are very close to days of Messiah. It's called Consider the End of Days. As a matter of fact, this week my film about the end of days will come out, which applies to Jews and Gentiles, based on all the prophecies of all the prophets that all religions believe in, not just Judaism. Islam and Christianity follow Jeremiah and Isaiah and Joel and Amos and all.
$5 things that took out tree, 一倍 silicification 負 99%， 而 remote controlled helicopter 負 1%。
You know, I saw something about how it was like a shady helicopter company that like wasn't even certified, and there was no traffic control in that area, and they just Brazilification, they just messed up and crashed into each other. Third world type of problems, I think.
All those prophets, they're holy in all religions, and based on their words,
Brazil,
it's going
third
to
world,
be
second
now
world.
Days of Messiah.
Second world.
The world will be purified. Only righteous Jews and righteous Gentiles will remain. The world would be clean. There will be no evil, no more war. Everyone will know who is the only God and what is the only religion. There will be no more debates about it. It will be very clear to all people who is it's written by the words of the prophet, and at that day there will be one God with one name. There will not be many, many names to God and many faiths. Everything will be clear. Now, if a Gentile is righteous and keeping the 7 laws of Noah, and it's not a racist, is not a Nazi, or not, following abomination or idols, then he will remain, he will survive, and also there will be resurrection of the dead for Jews and Gentiles.
Okay.
But only righteous Jews and only righteous Gentiles. No wicked Jews and no wicked Gentiles will resurrect, and they will not have the merit to live in times of Messiah.
Okay.
This is all words of the prophets. as we all know, they're written in the Tanakh, in the Bible, and soon it's going to happen. We're very close for these days. There are many, many unbelievable things are happening now, and
I don't know. I'll play it for free if I like it. It's not so much how much you have to pay. It's just if I like it or not. Because, you know, if there's something like I don't agree with wanting to put on my platform, then maybe if it's not something I want to associate with my brand, you know, dude, then like maybe I don't want to play it. You feel me? So link it up. I'll watch it and maybe play it next stream.
Will happen in the world. But, you know, this is a whole different topic. I don't want to diverse this.
Sneako accuses the Jews of racism.
Already forgot. You said that racism should not be followed by any of the Goyim if they want to go to heaven. But if God isn't racist, because he seems like he's preferring this nation, the chosen people, even if they don't follow the laws. So what's the priority for God, according to you, is not the fact that they're righteous, but the fact that they're Jews. How is this not preference? How is this not racist?
Very simple. If you have two kids, one righteous and one wicked, and then you have a stranger somewhere across the street, you don't have anything to do with him. It's a stranger, and he's a righteous stranger. Who would you prefer? Your son
kid
that is not good, or the stranger that is good? You have a son.
You're applying the logic of God.
So he's explaining. Even if a Jew is bad, God still loves the Jews more because they're his children. That's the argument. Which makes sense if it were true, but it's a made-up God, and nobody should be enabling that this God is real. That gives them, insurmountable, the magnitude of that influence and power, I think, has shown itself through history because everybody believes in this God and this book.
Of God to people, right? We are all God's children. None of us are preferred.
Absolutely. But the Jewish people, it's written in the Torah, you are my children. I'm quoting you verses in the Torah. If you want, I can send you the sources and the verses, what chapters they are. You can follow it yourself in English. So it's written like...
Yeah, Muslim, take it up with the Torah. Oh, you can't? Oh, you can't? And instead you say the Torah was sent by God to the Jews?
I want to reiterate this. I was talking about this with Aiden last night. I actually do think Judaism is a good religion. I know people are going to call me anti-Septic and all this stuff. Anti-Semitism, that's a lie. We explained that earlier. But I think core Judaism in the Torah was actually sent by God. But the idea of the chosen people, that's where everything went wrong. When people saw, when the Jews saw that they were chosen, they misrepresented that and they misunderstood that, thinking that chosen meant supreme and the best. What it really was is that they were the chosen race, and the chosen race to spread the message of God, to tell people what was going on. Jesus was sent.
So the most important, the chosen race to do the most important thing on earth? Oh, that doesn't make them superior at all. To convince all the earth that they're chosen and the true God is the one that chose them? But there's nothing racist about that inherently in the Torah.
You should reach out to Mizrachi for an interview on Normal.
Yeah. Now that I hear he's a little Jesus mythicizing, I would like to do that. That would be good, actually. That could break the internet.
As the Messiah, and what it said is that they saw Jesus and he was covered in he had poor clothes. He was wearing like a cheap thobe and he had sandals on, and they were like, why is he not covered in gold? I thought the Messiah would be driving a Bugatti and a Pagani. Why doesn't the Messiah have tech teams in Israel? And Jesus is like, okay, just because I look like I don't have a lot of wealth does not mean I'm not the truth.
Uh-oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't read the whole thing. Awesome. Thank you, dude. I'll check
Messiah,
it out.
And they a lot of them started to reject and hate him because they thought that he should be of wealth. But if you actually look at real Judaism, what it's supposed to be, I think it was just a misinterpretation. And then you get the Kabbalah, then you get the Talmud, then you get Zabbatai Zevi, then you get the Khazarians, then you get Frankism, and things get subverted and things get changed. And they use that religion for their own political gain. But at its core, I do think Judaism is a good monotheistic religion.
I
want to reiterate this. I was talking about this with Aiden last night.
I actually do think the Jewish religion and the Jewish God. They just make copes that it's been corrupted by Khazarians and Frankists. See, this is why we call him Noahide Sneako. Sneako, step out of the Judeo plantation. Don't be a Noahide. Don't affirm their fake Torah and their fake prophecies. Come on, dude.
this. You are holy because I'm holy.
Vincent now sent $20 when I was in the Middle East. Most of the people didn't read the Quran just like the Christians. I know most of the world is Abrahamic, but I do think it is hanging on by. I am optimistic about that.
It's a little more embedded and ingrained than hanging on by a thread, but it is vulnerable and it has gone down a lot.
Yourself in English. So it's written like this. You are holy because I'm holy. You have to follow those holy laws. You are my children. I chose you from all the nations to be my children. I do not give you permission to be like the Gentiles. You are different than the rest of the world. You have no permission to marry them. You have no permission to use their names. You have no permission to follow their culture. You are my children, and you have to follow the covenant that I made with you. And I have to remember, the Jewish people are the only people in the world that the entire nation, millions of people, stood in Mount Sinai and heard the voice of God giving them the 10 Commandments and the Torah. It never happened to any other nation.
Dude, he's sitting there nodding, saying true to that delusional, made-up bullshit story. Oh, the Jews are liars, but oh, true, you really got the Torah at Mount Sinai with Moses and the golden calf and the talking bush. Like, that's all real. Yeah, dude, we'll chop off our foreskins too, bro. I trust you. I trust you, Jews. See what I'm saying? The problem with the opposition to Jews sitting there and nodding when they claim that they had a miracle at Mount Sinai where they got the word of God from a mountain, affirming their number one top prophet in Judaism. True.
Right?
God.
No, Sneako, it's not true. It's made up Jewish fairy tale bullshit. If you can't oppose that, you're not opposing Jews. Controlled slopposition.
The voice of God giving them the 10 Commandments and the Torah. It never happened to any other nation.
Right?
God called himself the God of voice of God giving them the 10 Commandments and the Torah. It never happened to any other.
See, you cannot grant them that. Granting them that is to grant them everything. All right? This is the problem with Muslims and Christians doing this.
I agree completely. Like, I think Judaism is a good religion, regardless. Like, people sometimes get upset. Like, it's crazy, like the echo chamber you have. And then we should definitely focus on Zionism. But what do you think about this? Think about this.
See, focus on Zionism, not Judaism. Judaism's good. How many times have you heard these people say that? I don't even specifically blame Sneako. Everybody around him in his bubble has always been saying that. That's the talking point. They all wish they were Jewish. Yeah.
Other nation.
Right.
God called himself the God of Israel, not the God of Philistines or the God of United States or the God of France. Is the God of Israel.
But so it was betrayed because this spread the message of God. I know this. I know these verses. This is supposed to be for all mankind.
You were so right.
But you're essentially saying God's racist if he prefers one nation above others, and only one are chosen. Why?
No, but you have to understand when you make a covenant, it works both ways. You and you have a much easier life. If you be a righteous Gentile and you keep the 7 laws, which I'm sure some of them you already keep, and you one day go to heaven. I have to work 100 times harder than you to make it to heaven. My punishments are much worse than you because I have much bigger responsibilities and obligations. And work both ways.
Oh, it's such a burden for you.
But you don't even believe that the heaven's equal. You believe
it actually is a burden, though, to be fair.
In Goyim heaven, which is separate, are we going to be
self-imposed or cultural, self-imposed culturally burden? And severe plan trusting and victimhood supremacist consciousness. Oh, dude, flowing.
In the same heaven if we follow Noahide laws.
Different heavens, but I wish all the Jews that are not religious to go to the heavens of the Gentiles.
And guess what? What, Sneako? They think Islam is basically Noahide compliant. Almost perfect Noahide, they say, as he tells you in this interview. So you want to be a Noahide, or do you want to
know what it means, a divine heaven of Gentiles? Those wicked Jews can dream to go to such a place because right now they have no share to the world to come.
You said that racism should not be.
Dude, this guy thinks I'm worried about going to the Jewish heaven for the Gentiles.
Forget about it.
Like I care.
So why?
Now he says he'd rather live with Muslims than with Netanyahu. Yeah, right.
So it sounds like you would rather be neighbors with a Muslim than Benjamin Netanyahu.
Absolutely. He's not a righteous Jew. He's not keeping the laws of the Torah.
So
he's a secular person.
Like the majority of Israelis, they are secular. Tel Aviv, they pride themselves in being the gayest city in the world. So why
Absolutely.
support this state if it's dominated by idol worshippers and deviants instead of Muslims?
Okay, you be listening.
A lot of them don't know any better. They're ignorant. They're brainwashed.
Yeah, well, first of all, you have to understand. It's true. You're listening to my lectures, and I've been speaking about people that have zero connection to religion. They are not aware of God. Some of them are atheists. Some of them are very wicked people. But you have to also remember there is an expression in Judaism. It's called a baby that was kidnapped while he was baby, and he doesn't even know he's a Jew. How will he be able to keep and follow the Torah if he never opened it once in his life? So these ignorant people, not all of them are wicked or evil. They just have no idea. It's just like you take an Arab and you let him live among non-Muslims in some country, I don't know, in Australia or New Zealand. He never heard once in his life about the laws of Islam. And then you tell him, oh, you're a wicked Muslim. How come you're not following the Quran? He will tell you, I have no idea what the Quran is. How do you judge me when they were raised me like a non-Muslim and I have no idea what Islam is? So the same thing, 70% of the Jews in Israel, they are in...
I'm starting to reach my levels of Mizrachi I can handle, to be honest.
Into this category. They were raised with no religion. They didn't go to yeshiva. They never learned Torah. They never opened the Talmud. They never learned Maimonides. They don't know the Jewish book of...
I've seen them so many times over the years. I have a tolerance how much I can actually listen anymore.
They raise them like non-Jews, like atheists. You understand? So for them,
still our favorite
as you can
rabbi,
see, many of them hate the religion. They hate all religions. They don't just hate Islam. They hate Judaism. They hate many other anybody that is religious, they hate.
Who's he talking about? Anybody that's religion? Pagans? He says you have to be super foolish to waste your time on Christianity. Hold on, I want to watch this one first. Let's get rid of some of these shorter ones. The Muslim needs to be nerfed is too overpowering. What does that mean?
Because you told us you have to leave like 15 minutes ago. But
I know. The person is blowing up my text right now that I'm not answering them. But I don't want to leave.
Benjamin Netanyahu telling you to get off?
Yes, Benjamin Netanyahu told me to get off. And where is the verse that says if anybody?
Tell him if he wants him to, if he wants to learn how to, study Torah, let me know. I could give him a few lessons.
You don't even know how to read Hebrew, so I don't know. Like, learn Hebrew.
Sure, I don't.
From English translation.
Sure, I don't know how to read Hebrew.
Okay, so what is Bereshit bara Elokim?
Oh, now we're moving topics, so you want to stay on...
Yeah, hold on. He just asked me. Repeat that again, Aaron.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz.
Genesis 1:1.
Okay, and what
Hold on. That's the easiest one. Bereshit is Genesis. Starts with that in the beginning. It's like, oh, boom. You heard the first verse of the Torah in Hebrew. It starts with Bereshit.
That's 1:1.
Okay, and what
in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Okay, translate this.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. I know the verse, brother. Bereshit bara Elohim ve'et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. I don't fully speak Hebrew.
Dude, they're having a Semite off, apparently. They're having a Shem off with these Middle Eastern dialects. Arabic and Hebrew, super similar. Basically cousins. Cousin people, cousin peoples, and cousin languages. I can only take so much kvetching, yeah. Hold on, let's see. What else do we have here? Sneako says the Dajjal is coming. Look, there he is. That's what he looks like. The Abrahamic prophecies are all fake and nobody is coming to save you, Sneako. Stop being so gullible. That was March 1st of this year. The Dajjal is coming. I remember Dugan retweeted that shit. He's trying to instigate, rile up all the Muslims and against the satanic Baal West for his big Gog and Magog apocalyptic wars. Let's see. Sneako makes Mizrachi crash out.
The scam. Let me educate you. In the Torah, it says anyone who comes to kill you, kill him first. It's not Christianity. If someone smack you on one side of your cheek, give him the other cheek.
So how is that not terrorism? If you believe in killing children because they're going to grow up to be terrorists, how is this not terrorism specifically? You believe in killing Muslims first?
First of all, nobody target children. This is another scam.
This is admitted by the UN now.
Nobody target children. Never.
Anti-Semites to make
Nobody target. I can show you hundreds of proofs that nobody has any intention to hurt any civilians.
The UN report shows that an IDF sniper hit a child while she was breastfeeding from her mother.
The UN is the most anti-Semite organization in the world. You're giving
Everyone's
me
an anti-Semite.
Next thing, you're going to bring me some words of Adolf Hitler as a proof. Come on. UN is a bunch of...
Dajjal is coming with Jesus. Yeah, Dajjal coming just means, ooh, my prophecies are happening. Oh, my Bible's right. Oh, my end times. Oh, the Antichrist. Oh, the Dajjal. It's like, oh, Jesus is going to come and save me. So don't worry, guys. That means our prophecies are real and we're going to be saved. It's going to be so cool. This Jewish fairy tale script play out.
Anti-Semite, anti-Israel.
It took them 3 years. If they're so anti-Semitic, why did it take them 3 years to admit it's a genocide?
Let me educate you. In the Torah, it says anyone...
Educate the Goyim. Dude, you know what Mizrachi was thinking the whole time during that interview? You know.
I always wonder how dumb this Goyim sometimes can be.
There's the Hebrew. He didn't speak Hebrew. Oh, yeah, actually he did. The first verse. Okay, they confront Sneako on the Clubocost with Clav and
the
Nick
Nazis were doing.
And Andrew Tate. Now Sneako's in the hot seat.
Aaron, one thing. Are you against the state of Israel or are you against all Jews in the world?
I'm against the state of Israel.
So why you take there with the Nazi, famous Nazi, and kissed up to him in a clip that someone sent me? You're sitting and saying Heil Hitler if you're not an anti-Semite.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Nazi. First off, I'm not white. I don't believe that the Nazis were doing good things. They committed atrocities. But we're hearing rhetoric from people where they say all of Lebanon must burn. And then I get banned from people on the Epstein list. They tell me I can't go to a club. I have free speech in America. I have free.
But let me ask you a question. What normal person that claims he's not anti-Semite would say the word Heil Hitler?
And put hands up like this in the air at a club.
Oh, don't do it, Rabbi.
Will go to jail for that, in Germany, for instance.
We have free speech in America. And if this, we have free speech.
Free speech, yes, but it shows who you are. The free speech.
You think I'm a Nazi? Well, I mean, look, the Nazis had the Avar agreement. Hold on. I don't claim I hate Jews. I love Jews. But Hitler, hold on. Let me respond. He asked me a question. Hitler was responsible for the Avar agreement and allowed the passage of 70,000 exiled Jews to go into Palestine. Hitler was a Zionist. Hitler doesn't follow my ideology.
I don't understand why you keep saying Palestine when I just proved to you there's no such thing Palestine.
Because you haven't proved then the rest of the world is a scam too, because this is also not referenced in the original textbooks. Then the United States is a scam because it's not referenced in the Bible.
Everybody knows that the Romans named Israel Palestine has nothing to do with Arabs. Why you keep coming with the same political scam?
Everybody knows the state of Israel is dominated by secular Jews who do not follow the faith.
The Arabs have anything to do with the Philistines?
That's the real problem, right? Oh, good own. Oh, they're not Jewish following Judaism enough in Israel. Those fake Khazarian Jews. Why is that the own? First of all, he doesn't like that either. He wants them to be more Jewish. Come on, dude. This is not it, Sneako. This is not it, anybody.
Everybody knows the state of Israel is dominated by secular Jews who do not follow the faith.
The Arabs have anything to do with the Philistines? The answer is no. So why you name yourself after another nation? Why all these lies and fakeness, non-stop lies in your world?
Because there are people indigenous to the land, the Semitic people. These are the people that have been...
Philistines were believed to be like Greek, right? Greeks that came by vote.
Living there for generations. Right? You think that they're all...
slide on that. He said Hail Hitler, and he promotes the guy who wanted to kill all the Jews. And then
no, the song, hold on. If you want to get offended about this, the song is Nigga Heil Hitler, which is ridiculous because niggas weren't heiling Hitler. This is a funny song.
Bro, this is clearly saying Hail Hitler.
No. I said, no, don't leave this out. Let's make it this historically accurate if we want to be real. It's Nigga Heil Hitler. Niggas weren't heiling Hitler. This is ridiculous and this is funny. This is a song about free speech. It's a song about cancel culture, about what destroys the ideas that we have or values of free speech. Nigga Heil Hitler.
I wonder, you know, in Germany, for instance.
We have free speech in America. Prove then the rest of the world is a scam too because this is... Hold on, let me respond. He asked me...
Oh, that's right. Where do scholars believe the Philistines came from?
Scholars mostly say the Philistines rolled in from the Aegean, probably Crete or nearby Greek islands, around 1200 BCE as part of those mysterious sea peoples. The Bible calls their homeland Kaftor, which lines up with Crete, and digs at places like Ashkelon turned up pottery, DNA, and artifacts screaming Aegean vibes, Mycenaean-style stuff mixed with local Canaanite culture. DNA from some ancient burials even shows early European ancestry that later got watered down by marrying the locals. But here's where it gets fun. Mainstream scholars are missing the big picture. Those sea peoples weren't just some random migrants.
So claiming that modern-day Palestinians are Philistines is not accurate.
Not even close. That's a total psyop. The Philistines were these seafaring Aegean warriors who settled on the coast, while the modern Palestinians are mostly Arabized locals with deep Levantine roots, mixed with later waves of Arabs, Turks, and whatever else rolled through. The name Palestine itself is a Roman rebrand after they crushed the Jewish revolts, basically slapping Philistine land on the map to erase Judea. It's classic psychological warfare, conquerors renaming everything to mess with the conquered. The real bloodline of the Philistines probably faded out or got absorbed centuries ago. But hey, if they want to claim Philistine heritage, maybe they should start worshipping Dagon and building those weird iron chariots.
Okay, so the Philistines did intermarry with the people that were the Arabs that were in that Levant area. Of course. So they are mixed.
Those early Philistines showed up with that European DNA signature. Then boom, within like 200 years, it got completely diluted out by intermarrying with the local Levantine folks. So their blood mixed into the Canaanite gene pool big time. Now, modern Palestinians are most...
So they blended, but it is a little semantic. Okay.
Came intimate yet. He came back after a few months. I want to ask you another question, if you don't mind. You know, in Islam, they also adopted JC in Christianity. They give him credit as a real prophet.
He's the Messiah. He's the Messiah. He will return.
Okay. If you will watch my debate with a Christian professor, then you have to be super foolish to waste another minute on Christianity after you watch my debate. And I already tell you that thousands of very religious Christians immediately left the Christian religion after they watched my debate with that professor. And he's teaching Christianity in a Christian university.
Dude, come on. Dude, where's the sound effect, Sneako? You never had a better place to do the fuck thing than right there. I need it. I need that sound effect. If I would have done the sound effect right there, it would have been so perfect. What debate is he talking about? Oh, I converted so many Christians to Noahides.
Basically, after you watch this debate, you will see that in every page in the New Testament, there are ridiculous human errors.
I agree.
Okay, so now, how can Islam give credit to Christianity and to JC when every page in Christianity has human errors and has zero connection to God?
They say it's corrupted, and then the Quran fixed what was wrong.
Great question.
That makes Islam also not valid.
That's
because if Islam was the religion of God, they would not give credit to a book that every other line is a human error and has nothing to do with
God. Do you want me to respond? So we believe.
Also, by the way, he's not a descendant of Mashiach. He's not. Sorry, just to add on to this, he's not a descendant of the Messiah. He's not a descendant of King David, so he can't be Messiah.
Because his father.
I already proved that it has nothing to do with the Messiah. He can never be the Messiah because
If you
he's
believe
not from
that,
the family of King David.
it's from the tribe of, it comes from the lineage of Abraham, first off. Second, we don't give credit to Christianity. Rabbi, we both agree that Paul the Apostle created Christianity. You say that they're idol worshipers, that Christians, Christmas is a scam.
Dude, he said the Messiah comes from Abraham. Yeah, but more specifically, it clearly says all over the Torah it's from David. So wrong there, Sneako. That's why they're like, what?
And you say that they're going to burn for eternity because they worship idols. We know that Paul the Apostle is responsible for the majority of Christianity, not Jesus himself. We believe Jesus is Messiah because he is. We believe in his teachings in the gospel.
Good argument. I believe he's the Messiah because he is. Oh, that's not circular at all, Sneako.
And you say that they're going to burn for eternity because they worship idols. We know that Paul the Apostle is responsible for the majority of Christianity, not Jesus himself. We believe Jesus is Messiah because he is. We believe in his teachings in the gospel. The Bible and John, Mark, Luke.
You believe in the gospel and the teachings that are in the gospel, but not Paul?
now sent $10. It's funny to me that they prefer Islam over Adam King. Admitted Christians are the ones supporting them against Muslims. I don't get.
Yeah. Hold on, I missed what you said there. I have to listen to it again. He goes, he believes the Gospels and the teachings that are in the Gospels, but not Paul. Paul wrote before the Gospels, and in Paul's letters, you see it's a heavenly figure, not a biographical real man on earth. Heavenly, celestial, known through revelation in Midrash. That's Paul's Jesus. He didn't come along later and corrupt the teachings, the true teachings of Jesus. There were no teachings of Jesus until after Paul's letters.
This came afterwards. A lot of them, Paul, he never met Jesus. This guy on the road to Damascus, he was a Jew. He was a Jew, and he was persecuting early Christians.
Allow me to reply.
I haven't fully responded because you asked me, why do I follow Christianity? And this is incorrect. We don't follow Christianity. We follow Jesus. We don't follow the Christian doctrine. We don't follow Paul. We believe Jesus is the Messiah.
Allow me to reply. In 2 minutes, you will see that what you say right now makes no sense. In my debate, I already started to show the genealogy from King David all the way to Joseph the carpenter, who married Mary, Joseph and Mary, and then JC was born. And the story in the first page of the New Testament is that Joseph the carpenter went away after he got married to Mary. They did not go into their house and became intimate yet. He came back after a few months and he saw that she's pregnant. And he asked her, what happened? I never touched you. How is it possible you're pregnant? And she told him, God came to me in a dream and made me pregnant. I'm still a virgin. And that's why they call her Virgin Mary.
Yes, the Immaculate Conception. Exactly.
Okay, so now they describe I believe over 30 names over there. You can see in my debate who gave birth to who, from King David all the way to Joseph the carpenter. And the cause of that is to prove that JC comes from the family of King David, because in the Torah, the Messiah is called Messiah, son of David. It must be from the genealogy of the family of King.
Dude, why is it taking him so long to just say in one sentence, Jesus is, how can you be a descendant of the lineage to go to David when Joseph wasn't his real biological father? Done. One sentence. Why is he blabbering for 2 minutes to make this point? God, get to the point, Rabbi. These rabbis never get to the point. They just pontificate forever. Like they're so wise.
David and Solomon, his son. It has to be from that genealogy.
That's assuming that this has been preserved properly. That's assuming that the Torah has been preserved.
Listen. So tell me, please, why would you describe so many generations from King David all the way to Joseph the carpenter? And right after that, you write that Joseph the carpenter is not the father of JC. God is his father. God made her pregnant. Joseph is not the son. So why you wasted a page to link Joseph to King David when right after that you made such a ridiculous mistake saying that he has nothing to do with JC? He's not the father. It's not his sperm that created JC. He went out of town. When he came back, she was pregnant already. You see, the ridiculous mistakes that Christianity have, it's an insult to intelligence of a normal person. You sit with me for 1 hour, you will laugh about what you just told me.
You point out, let me respond. You bring up one of the greatest scams too, and a great mistake is that Israel and the United States says that they're the greatest allies. They have so much in common, Judeo-Christian values, when in fact, Muslims, we believe in the Immaculate Conception. We believe in the Virgin Mary. The Jews, you believe that she was a liar. You believe that Jesus is burning in feces and excrement. Yet the Christians in America, people like Trump, Rubio, Hegseth, all these political leaders who claim to be Christian, ally with the state of Israel, who rejects Jesus, call him a liar and call the Immaculate Conception a scam. When in fact, Islam and Christianity have so much in common.
I hope we see the response.
First of all, you're right. First of all, you're right. Islam and Judaism has much more in common than Christianity and
Islam and Christianity have a lot more in common than Judaism too.
Yeah, and I'm sure you heard me that if the Arabs would just let
them, all have in common with one another. Are we just? This is just circling the wagons. Abrahamic echo chamber circle jerk. Safe space. A Judeo prophecy safe space.
Jews live and stop dreaming about wiping them out from the face of the earth, we could have been the best friends because we believe in many mutual values. We are cousins. The
Arabs and yes, Jews, Ishmael and Isaac, we know. But you believe you're chosen. You believe you're superior.
They would just leave us that little piece of.
But how could you coexist if you believe
they would leave us? They would leave us a little place, courtesy. Forget about God right now. Courtesy. Okay, you need a place to live. We'll leave you a state smaller than New Jersey since we have 99.8%.
Rabbi, you're ignoring how I told you. It sounds like you didn't know about the historical facts that the Islamic Caliphate allowed the Jews to return.
I'm talking today. Why are you giving me something from 1500
This was one of the first examples, and again, it rebukes your claim. It debunks your claim that Muslims want to kill Jews.
If the Arabs will put the weapon down and shut down all their organizations, there will be immediately peace and prosperity between the Jews and the Arabs. If the Jews would leave their weapon, they will be dead in 24 hours like October 7, and everybody knows it. Okay. Now, let me first go back to Christianity.
Before you go back to Christianity, hold on. There's one claim here. You keep saying that they should be able to coexist, that the Jews and Arabs are cousins, and I agree.
Judeo
but you cannot coexist. You cannot coexist today if you believe that you're superior, which is clear from the Israeli leadership and clear from even what you're saying. If you believe you're chosen, Rabbi, hold on. If you believe you have your own place in heaven and that the Goyim have their own place that's separate and that's lower, you do not believe you're equal. You believe you're superior.
He's right. And don't blame them for believing it. That's what their Torah says. Go with the Torah. They believe it because that's what the Torah says. And then if you say that Torah gave, God gave the Torah to the Jews, and you sit there and nod about Moses on Mount Sinai, you don't got nothing to complain about. It's just Cope saying, oh, you misinterpreted it. It got corrupted. We got the true version. Come on. Christians do the same thing. The true Trinity, yeah.
Jews are going to be Jews. All right. So first of all, I didn't say that I read every single knowmore.
Okay, so you don't even know what the book is saying, my friend.
Let me finish, dude. Okay. Stop being like you're being a Jew right now. You're just being a Jew.
Wow.
Jews are going to be Jews. All right, yeah, you're just being a Jew.
Okay.
I didn't say, remember, you're talking faster than you could think. So first of all, I didn't say that I read.
This Muslim dude's obnoxious. He acts like a Jew. He's spitting Hebrew. Thanks, you last-born son. Yeah, you're not Jewing right. We're the true Jews and the Pharisees and the temple liturgy and the Orthodox Church, and Muslims like, we're the descendants of Ishmael and Abraham, and it's all real.
No death penalty for desecration. By the way, the Torah says that the Sanhedrin are 71 judges that follow the laws of the Torah, and in the old days when the temple existed, they were the only one who can rule also execution. Today, for 2,000 years, there's no execution. No one is getting executed, not Jews and not Gentiles, even wicked Gentiles, wicked Jews, idol worshippers, Jews that are worshiping idols, Gentiles that are worshiping idols. There's no death penalty. No death penalty for gays, no death penalty for desecrators of the Sabbath, no death penalty for idol worshippers, because there is no legitimate court today to execute for 2,000 years already. That's why some of the videos he put on me, it's misleading the people. I never say that Gentiles deserve to die. I just say that according to the world today, which has about 8 billion people, besides the Muslims, which are close to 2 billion, and they are not idol worshippers, almost everybody else are idol worshippers. Either they believe in Buddha, or they believe in JC, or they believe in all kinds of gods of the Hindus, or Jews that believe that their rabbi is God or is the Messiah. They are also idol worshippers. There's no discrimination.
He agrees. He sits and nods. Yeah, they're idol worshippers. Correct. Yeah, Muslims don't believe that. We're good Noahides. Dude, this is why we call him Noahide Sneako.
Or they believe in all kinds of gods of the Hindus, or Jews that believe that their rabbi is God or is the Messiah. They are also idol worshippers. There's no discrimination.
Correct. What a good Noahide. Where's our Noahide Sneako? Look. Noahide. We've been saying it.
You believe that his rabbi never died and he runs the world, he's an idol worshipper. If a Christian believed that JC, a human being that could not even save his own life, and the Romans butchered him and he was crying for his life, he's going to save them, they live in some kind of illusion. This is all idol worshipping. In the 10 Commandments, it says you should not have any other God but me. And making another entity makes you an idol worshiper. But
Yeah, Snoopy Boopins. They hate him so much they won't say his name because they see it as a heretical Jewish idolatry that's a threat to Jews. Notice there he said a Jew that calls his rabbi God is an idol worshiper. We saw, as we've seen many rabbis say, shatuf. Gentiles are allowed to believe in a little bit of idolatry as long as it's a stepping stone towards it. Mizrachi will say Christianity is not as bad as paganism because at least they believe in their God, the Jewish God, and the prophecies and a Jewish Messiah. How can I not be happy? 2 billion Goyim bowing down to one Jew tonight. All right? That's the full picture.
I cannot execute anyone. There's no rabbis in the world that can execute.
I agree with a lot of what you said. Then why?
Execution.
Sneako IQ mogged by Rabbi Mizrachi. Let's see that one.
Rabbi, who created Hezbollah?
Who created Hezbollah? Yes. Not the Jewish people.
Oh, then who? Because 1982, Israeli staged an illegal invasion of Lebanon. Hezbollah was created to kick them out, to kick out the foreign invaders. And in 2000, they ended up kicking them out. It's Israelis' fault. It's your fault, your state's fault that Hezbollah exists.
Hezbollah, it's Iran. The same thing like the Houthis is Iran. The same thing Hamas is Iran. And the jihad is Iran.
I don't know that I've heard Hezbollah was started by Jews. I know I've heard Hamas started by Jews. Is he getting Hamas and Hezbollah mixed up? He couldn't.
The same thing like the Houthis is Iran. The same thing Hamas is Iran. And the jihad is Iran. And many other terror organizations is Iran. Iran and Qatar are sponsoring all the murders of thousands and thousands of innocent people, mainly Jews, but also others.
That's not the case. Just like Netanyahu, Iran was funding these proxies, but this was created to kick out the Israelis who invaded their land. Has nothing to do. Iran did not create Hezbollah. Israel did.
Wait, hold on. The Israelis created Hezbollah to kick the Israelis out of Lebanon? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe he misspoke.
Their land. But this was created to kick out the Israelis who invaded their land. Has nothing to do. Iran did not create Hezbollah. Israel did with this invasion in 1982. I'm not. There's no Google. Rabbi, who created Hezbollah?
Who created?
Okay, is that all we have? That's all I have. I think I got all of them. Mizrahi versus AI ChatGPT. Is that what he was reading? Sneako saying because they attacked it caused Hezbollah is a stupid take. Yeah. Was that the argument he was trying to make? Because that's weak as hell. All right, breaking news from Amalek. Rabbi Shmuley going to jail? Question mark.
Let's see. That about. Hi, everyone. The other day I posted a video. This is breaking news, and it's absolutely accurate. A group of people, we'll have to assume Israel haters, etc., anti-Semites, are literally filing with the courts to have me prosecuted, criminal prosecution, and jailed after I was threatened with violence and murder by a radical Islamist and just had the audacity as a Jew to actually speak out against anti-Semitism. If they succeed, and we'll see this week, and if not, jail, they're trying to completely bankrupt me. 9 children, thank God, 12 grandchildren. There's even rumors, allegedly, that the guy doing it said he's going to put me on the street and take away our houses. Okay. Number one, if I'm, God forbid, forced through imprisonment, complete bankruptcy.
Dude, he looks like he's wearing one of those like fake glasses and nose, doesn't it? It just hit me. I'm like, whoa, is he wearing one of those like costume nose and glasses? Dude, come to think of it, those are very stereotypical of Jews. I need to get some glasses like that. Amalek says, apparently the people do this are also Jewish. I couldn't confirm it. They're going to sue him into homelessness? What did he do? For speaking out against anti-Semitism, they're going to sue him into homelessness? Oh, those are camera glasses. You're right. He's having so many interactions for social media, viral clip farming, that he's got recording glasses. I think I need recording glasses. That sounds like a fun idea.
To defend my people, I will always do it. You know that about me. It's what all of us should be prepared to do if the Jews are to live and not be squeezed out of America. Number two, they will automatically make this somewhat known rabbi into the most famous Jew in all of America. Every media outlet on earth, and especially in the United States, of course, will cover it. A rabbi threatened with murder, his attacker gets away, is not prosecuted by the police, is not punished by the establishment where it took place. The rabbi is either jailed, prosecuted,
$10,
and or bankrupted. Number three, it will set a precedent for Jews all around the United States that if you are attacked by the Free Palestine, the Islamists, or by it's not just, God forbid, it's not our Muslim brothers and sisters who we love. Remember, Islam and Islamists are totally different things. But whether you're attacked by the Free Palestine crowd, which I'm attacked constantly, including threatened with murder, God forbid, or if you're attacked by the right-wing lunatics who hate us, the whole Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and...
Amalek, did you add... Is he here? I wonder if he added the music and the subtitles.
Nick Fuentes crowd. Precedent will be sent that is a Jew, you're screwed. If you...
I'll go out in public
defend yourself,
disguised
you could
as
be killed,
Shmuley.
Attacked, maimed, violated. But if you do report it, there's a chance that the police might blame you for provoking the attack. Why did you wear kippah? Why did you wear Magen David? That's almost what happened to me, as you saw in Vienna, when I was literally hit in Vienna, and you saw that I was taken to the police station that night. It was a Friday night Shabbat. So either you will be prosecuted by the police for inciting the anti-Semitic attack, because the Jews are never victims; they're always culprits.
Yeah, right.
Or
actually, you verbally assaulted him. You be
sued by an establishment to protect their business so that they can deny that you were attacked in an anti-Semitic hate crime. It'll set a precedent that will destroy the Jewish community. Stay tuned.
A precedent that will...
It'll set a precedent that will destroy the Jewish...
That will destroy the Jewish community. Dude, talk about dramatic. Dude, imagine if he gets sued. You said it was another Jew suing him. If he gets sued into bankruptcy. All right, here's one from John. Shout out, John. If you believe in the Jewish scriptures, you can't oppose the Jews. So true.
Alexander Hamilton.
You can try, but it won't work, and you're affirming their whole messianic delusions.
Jews have been part of the foundation of this country. They are part of the perpetuation of this country. Anyone who's anti-Semitic is not a patriot. They are not devoted or dedicated to America's history, past, present, or future. The land was discovered by a Jew named Christopher Columbus. This infrastructure was built by a Jew named Alexander Hamilton. It was financed by a Jew named Chaim Solomon.
Alexander Hamilton was Jewish? Really? Hamilton's a Jewish name?
This great nation is built upon the principles found in the Jewish texts of the Torah, the Tanakh, the Hebrew Scriptures. We are an integral part of this nation. This nation is an integral part of us. And as we celebrate this birthday together.
Wow. I did not know. Alexander Hamilton was likely born and raised Jewish in the Caribbean, though he cast off any formal Jewish identity upon moving to the American colonies. Attended a private school taught by a Jewish headmistress located inside a synagogue. Mother was married to a Jewish merchant. Converted to Judaism. Did not have a baptismal record. He heavily advocated for the Jewish community. Wow. That's surprising.
We need to remember that
cooked.
This Jewish culture is so tied into America on this birthday in every way at all times. It has made this country great and will make the country greater. And so we all have the obligation of honoring that, celebrating this birthday, recognizing and calling out these anti-Semites and pointing out that's not American. But to embrace each other, respect each other, so that we truly can be one nation under God, indivisible, and that there's liberty and justice for all.
Dude, no more manipulation through religion. Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones together is too much crazy in one place, says this chicks on the right. Don't know who they are. Let's see this.
Just seeing that
Zionists tell Israelis they're God's chosen people, they're special in the eyes of God, which is absurd. Chosen people, it's absurd.
Dude, it's not Christians telling them that. I already covered this. It's not Christians telling Jews they're the chosen people. It's Jews reading their Torah.
It's like your kid takes his diaper and smears crap on the wall and you're like, that's art. How do you think that child grows up? You think that kid grows up to be like balanced, well-adjusted?
No, an entitled psychotic.
With the exactly
the snideness and just the meanness. Just seeing those two together, chef's kiss, like of just craziness. Support our show by supporting our sponsors.
That's it. They're so crazy and mean. They sound so mean and crazy. Chicks on the right. Let's see. I'm not sure when this was. Trump says my admin will study this report and work to strengthen religious liberties.
Americans, it was also, America was founded by people of faith, and it was settled as a haven for religious freedom. So important as we prepare to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our founding next week, it is only appropriate that we work to strengthen this fundamental right and to most essentially have liberty for generations to come. We want religious liberty. We want liberty, but we also want religious liberty. We will closely study this report that is being presented to me as president today, and my administration will continue to work with the pillars of protecting religious liberty for all Americans, and we must also remain one nation under God. We will never let that phrase be stolen from us. You know, people are trying to steal it. We all know that very well.
Zion Don is going to stop all those commie liberals from stealing God from all the good Christians and Jews and Muslims out there, because they're totally trying to destroy Christianity.
Hamilton also was the impetus to illegally ratify the Constitution. Sent $5. Hamilton also was the impetus to ratify the yes, it was illegally the social contract was.
Interesting.
Phrase will never be stolen. It will stand proudly in our courts and everywhere else where we have it.
So the president and the Zionist cabinet is pushing the Bible nonstop, pushing Christianity nonstop. Why do I see all these lying conspiracy, conspiratainment podcasters and influencers saying that they're trying to destroy Christianity and that there's nothing they fear more. No, Chabad's favorite guy, Netanyahu's, Israel's favorite guy, is doing everything they can to promote Christianity. Cut the bullshit.
America was founded by...
How much time do we have? Half an hour. Do I want to get into all the latest Charlie Kirk conspiracy stuff? I really don't, to be honest. Not today. Let's do this instead. This is one of the most blatant examples of Christianity as a proxy, Jewish proxy war against European paganism from See Through It All. Joel Richardson.
It's the citizens of Pergamum who rules this. If you lived in Pergamum in the first century, if you were a Christian who lived in Pergamum, and someone asked you, what are the spiritual principalities, so to speak, that rule over the city? You would look around at the different temples. You would say Zeus. You would say Dionysus. You would say Athena. You would say Asclepius. You would talk about the imperial cult, the cult that worshipped the emperor. If you ask the citizens of Pergamum, who rules this city, they would say Zeus. If you talk to the priests, if you talk to the government, they would all say Zeus. But if you ask Jesus, he would say Satan rules this city. In fact, that's exactly what he said. In referring to the temple of Zeus in Pergamum, Jesus called it the throne of Satan. This is Jesus. He says, I know where you live, where Satan's throne is. You live. Where it says, I know where you live, where Satan's throne is. So that is a powerful statement. Now, the first point here to acknowledge is that in modern times, when we talk about other religions, and I want to be clear, I believe in respecting people of other religions. That doesn't mean I need to respect their belief system, but there is a degree to where you show someone respect by not just deliberately mocking what they believe, right? But it's okay to say, I believe that behind your worship system, it's actually Satan. There are a lot of Muslims that I love, I appreciate, I respect their lives, but I believe that ultimately their religious system, it's not the same God of the Bible. I believe it is a counterfeit. I believe that Satan is presenting himself as if he is the God of the Bible, but behind the worship in Islam, it's actually Satan. And that might be harsh to some people, and again, the modern mind goes, oh, you know, we're brainwashed by cultural, moral, and religious relativity, right? But the reality is Jesus himself, in looking at the temple of Zeus in the first century, he said, that's the temple of Satan. So I just want to start with these very basic biblical principles, which is to say the biblical worldview teaches that behind idols and behind false worship systems, or even just alternative worship systems, there are very real spiritual powers, and these powers are not God.
What is that? Revelation 2:13. So this is zombie Jesus apparently saying this. Satan's throne. So while Christians are like, oh, most synagogue of Satan. Oh, nothing. The first namer. Meanwhile, what was he saying about the Gentile pagan gods? I know where you live, where Satan has his throne, yet you remain true to my name. You did not renounce your faith in me, not even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness who was put to death in your city where Satan lives. So, yes, it's anti-Roman. Revelation, Babylon is Rome, coded for Rome, about the Messiah coming and destroying Rome. It's pro-Jewish God, anti-pagan gods. Doesn't get more Jewish
Miami
than that.
make 30 out cent $0 on everyone's satanic except the Abrahamic cult that worships the God that sacrificed his son. Embarrassed smiley face emoji.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't bow down to the King of the Jews and the Jewish God is evil, satanic, and demonic, and needs to be destroyed. I don't know. After watching all that Mizrachi, it like burnt me out. I haven't eaten yet either. I've only drank like 3 coffees. Are we heart rate? Where are we heart rating today? 72, pretty chill. Can I watch this Black Hebrew Israelite versus this conspiracy Christian? Brother Nathaniel's viral video about Kabbalah. I want to see what this prophet Kim Clement said about Putin. Was he a Putin shill too?
You are unbridled, King Putin. You are unbridled now. But I want you to know what I historically did to kings who took power and abused them. Ultimately, there will be freedom for the sake of my people. Oh, troublemaker, who would stand and terrorize the world? My world, says the Lord. Therefore, I'll put my hook in your nose and my bridle in your lips, and I will turn your back by the way you came, and those who have survived and escaped will bear much fruit, says the Lord.
Yeah, I should have. I'm out of beef jerky. I wish I had a bag of beef jerky. I'd just munch it on stream.
That fruit shall be in you.
I'm gonna get some today. I need to re-up on my beef jerky. My main protein source.
That fruit shall be in the nations that you have encroached upon to take for your glory. I will cause a remnant to be raised up and bear much fruit for my kingdom, says the Lord. You are unbridled.
Okay, not exactly pro-Putin. Jesus drove out the gods of Europe.
The gods, and when you drive out the gods,
so based, conquering all those white gods. When
the gospel came into the world.
Hey, all you e-crusaders and your anti-pagan memes, you're on board with the rabbis and Rabbi Merchant here. The merchant man himself, Rabbi Jonathan Kahn. That's the side you're on. Hell yeah, Costco's my beef jerky spot, of course. They have a whole row. They have a whole row of beef jerky at Costco.
When the gospel came into the world, it triggered a mass exorcism. It drove out the gods. It drove out the gods from the temple. People abandoned the gods, and when you drive out the gods, you're driving out spirits. It was like a mass exorcism of Western civilization. But the warning is, any nation or culture or civilization that has been delivered of these things, has known God, known the word, if it should ever empty itself of God, then those spirits that were cast out of it will come back into it. It will become repaganized. And so America, we thought we could drive God out. We could empty God.
The only problem Jews have with Christianity is that it's pagan and idolatrous with the Trinity, with the demigod, Son of God, the same as God as a man figure. Their only problem with Christianity is that it's been Gentile, goyimified a little bit. And then meanwhile, their secret lore says that they honor the rabbis that did it. It sacrificed themselves to take this Judeo religion and take it to the Gentiles and corrupt it so Jews wouldn't be as threatened by it. That's crazy lore. That's double dipping. That's the rabbis double dipping for sure.
From the culture. We could take him out of the schools. We could take him out of the public square. But the warning in the Bible is the house will not stay empty. You take God out, others will come in. And that's what we have been witnessing in America and the West, the re-paganization of culture. Mm-hmm. We thought, take God from the children, out of the schools, take prayer out of the schools. Well, something else will come to the children, and something else will come to the schools. And that brings us to the Olympics. The Olympics are a pagan origin. I'm not saying everybody who does that are worshiping anything, but it's from that. It was a religious festival to the god Zeus. But the last Summer Olympics, something happened. I don't know if you saw it. It was perhaps the most widely viewed act of blasphemy ever witnessed in this world. It began with the scene of the Last Supper. Except instead of Messiah, Jesus, and the disciples, they had men dressed as women, gyrating around the table. And then they had in the middle of the table, they had a platter of food. Now, in the Last Supper, there was the bread and the wine representing the Lord. But they had a platter of food. And the cover was removed, and it had nothing to do with God. It was a pagan god, a man dressed up as a pagan god the god Dionysus. So they replaced Jesus with a pagan god. Now, at the beginning of the age, the name of Jesus drove out the gods and drove out Dionysus, the god Dionysus. And the thing is, but now they...
Jesus literally is like the retelling and appropriating of Dionysus. The appropriating of Dionysus themes.
Were doing the opposite. They were replacing Jesus with the gods. And the god Dionysus was a lord of immorality, drunkenness, possession. It was really a prophetic sign of what was happening to the culture. The warning is, you take him out. But there is already a warning because there was a guy who actually did what the Olympics did as this blasphemy across the world. He was a German philosopher named Friedrich Nietzsche. He's the one who wrote the words, God is dead. He wrote that we have to get rid of Jesus, get rid of Christianity, and replace them with basically a pagan morality. Yes. Well, he actually adored the god Dionysus. So he replaced Jesus.
Isn't it funny how this super kosher Jewish Christian shill is hating on Nietzsche, hating on pagans, and that's the side that all these based e-crusaders are on. Isn't that funny? There's nothing more Jewish than being anti-pagan. Put that on a bumper sticker. Trademark that. Nothing more Jewish than being anti-pagan.
For Dionysus. Well, Dionysus was known for driving his followers insane to insanity as Dionysus, as if he was taken over. But his writings would go on, and one of the people who picked up his writings and followed him was a guy named Adolf Hitler. Hitler and the Nazis took Nietzsche's writings and applied them. They drove out the Lord. They drove out Jesus, replaced him with paganism. And it resulted in the death of millions. That is the warning. For any culture or civilization that has known God, to depart from God is a dangerous thing.
Take the L's, ye crusaders. Stack up your L's. Nothing they fear more than Jesus? Is that why this guy's a New York Times best-selling Jesus shill? I got to save that one. That one doesn't be down. Your brain on Christianity. In Isaiah 49, it talks about the Gentiles licking the dust off the feet of the Jews during the millennial kingdom. What, you got a problem with that, anti-Semites? Look at this guy's shirt.
These days, Israel.
Dude, Chris, look at that. Nice shirt. Dude, the grift is good. Ooh, Texas Christian American patriot. This should be good.
And I think it's Isaiah 49, I want to say around verses 22, 23, where it talks about the Goyim or the Gentiles licking the dust.
When the gospel came
off the feet of the Jews during the millennial kingdom. So at some point I have to ask myself, why are these guys so anti these texts? Well, they're bothered by this.
Yeah.
So one of these days, Israel's going to come back into the fold, and boy,
how dare the Goyim be bothered by having to lick the dust of the Jews' feet? And this is Isaiah 49 and 42, and linked with the servant there, who's the light to the nations, that does this, that was all incorporated into the Jesus Midrash and inspired the figure of Jesus, the literary construct of Jesus. Deeply inspired by Isaiah 42, 49, 52, 53. The servant.
Katie bar the door. She's going to be the cat's meow. You ain't seen nothing yet. The millennial kingdom will start, and she will be in a place of elevation. And all of those passages that I just rattled off there will leap off the pages into prophetic fulfillment. And I think that's what the Tucker Carlson's, Candace Owens, Matt Gaetz, J.D. Hall, who's our guitar player, John Rich, all of these people, I think that's what they don't like. And I think that's why they're so opposed to what we're saying.
They don't like the scriptures.
Because it really comes from a heart that doesn't want to see Israel get that place of preeminence back.
Right.
And I think it's Isaiah 49, I want to say.
I can't do the Candace Owens stuff right now. It's going super viral. I just can't do it. Let's see. 20 minutes. These are all too long. I don't want to do. Oh, we'll do this one. We'll do this one and we'll close out.
I grew up in Jewry, and as a young adult, I studied.
Hell is heaven for Jews, that ultimately the Antichrist is the Jew.
Who were skilled. I grew up in Jewry, and as a young adult, I studied with Chabad rabbis who were skilled in mystic rites called Kabbalah. Now, Kabbalah is arranged around 10 emanations called Sephirot, 10 stations of the structure of the universe that the initiate passes through are Sephirot. These Sephirot are the basis of the ancient mystery schools based on Kabbalah. In Kabbalah, a secret is taught and experienced in each Sephirot, allowing the Jew to gain advantage over the Goy. In Sephirot Yesod, the Jew is taught that the devil is an illusion that gives the Jew carte blanche to do evil because there's no punishment. In Sephirot Chod, the Jew is taught, my will be done, not thy will be done. That prioritizes the Jew's own selfish will over any kind of divine guidance. In Netzah, the Jew is given the key to seducing Goys with material temptations, thus gaining victory over them. In Tefereth, there is a mirror to adapt to circumstances mimicking other situations to hide in. Like perpetual victim, one step up is Gevurah, communicating that man is God. No longer does the Jew have to...
I hate this stuff. This reminds me of like horoscopes. This is like Jewish horoscopes.
Beef jerky sent $14.88.
Beef jerky. That sounds pretty satanic, dude. Thank you. Did that hit us to the goal? Oh, no. Not exactly. Close, though. We are close.
Obey anyone but himself,
that is awesome.
Not God. In Chesed, sodomy begins preferably with young boys, and sexual fluids and drugs are inserted into the anus of the initiate to bring about visions of hell.
What? What is he talking about? That doesn't... Chesed is what again?
Sodomy begins preferably with young boys, and sexual fluids and drugs are inserted into the anus of the initiate to bring about visions of hell.
Is that what they did to you, dude? What? I gotta ask Adam King about that one, or Duvid. Whoa. Okay, source. Dude, that's crazy. Of hell, sticking drugs up their anuses, sodomy children to see visions of hell.
The seizing of the initiate as an instrument in the hands of evil is now almost complete. But first, the initiate must undergo a kind of death, the opposite of being born again, into Binah, to free him of the confines of knowledge and reason. His entire view of the world is now broken apart with the intention that he realizes that there is no such thing as truth.
Yeah, dude, I didn't realize he rocked 3 crosses at a time. The Trinity of crosses.
Only the brainwashed believe in truth, and that his truth is whatever the initiate deceives the Goy into believing. The Jew becomes one with the spirit that he called up, which is the spirit of doubt, just like the doubt the serpent instilled into Eve. Thus you have, as in the...
9.14 cents $0 on he definitely had drugs up his rear.
I mean, he doesn't cite it. Must be personal experience because he doesn't cite a source for it.
Jones sent $0 on Nathaniel's goal.
Dude, no wonder he hates Jews so much. They stuck drugs up his butt and scared him of hell. That's why he believes in Jesus. It all makes sense. That's crazy. We'll have to ask him. I'll DM him. I'll be like, hey, dude, are you a Christian and hate Jews because they stuck drugs up your butt, bro?
Contemporary book, The Culture of Critique of the Jew Infusing Doubt into widely held traditional beliefs, doubting everything, the Jew becomes a force of destruction, tearing down everything, especially faith. Finally, we get to Chokhmah.
Here it is. Here's the meme. I made such a good meme of me and him. There it is. Bow to Moshiach. No, is that right? No. The hair and beard is a lot like it right now. Hold on. This is what I did. I literally took a picture of myself and put it in ChatGPT. That's how I made this. No. There you go. Make the meme.
A place very, very few ever reach, where the initiate Jew is taught that in the beginning was the true demon, the true Jew, created to infuse deception and doubt. The Jew embodies the devil himself and is transformed into an angel of light. They paint the image of a utopia or heaven and a means to achieve it, that the masses will hand over everything to the mystery Jew. The final separation.
$5 Kabbalah is the ancient art of seeing through your hole.
Oh, yeah. Seeing drugs. Yeah, dude, I didn't realize the Jewish mystics were sticking drugs up their butt. That's how they met Jesus, is the apostles stuck drugs up their butt and read the Torah. That's apparently what happened. And then they had visions, mystical visions and appearances of Jesus, this figure they're reading about in the scriptures, Mizrachi.
Wrote of Kabbalah is Keter. This is about all is oneness, pain is pleasure, evil is good, darkness is light, bitter is sweet, everything is upside down. The teachings of the Jews show us that their light is the Goys' darkness, their good is the Goys' evil, that ultimately, unequivocally, the Antichrist is the Jew.
And coincidentally, the pro-Christ, the pro-Moshiach, also Jewish. All right. Scott Wiener, this weirdo politician dude, shows up at a trans march, and they, like, I guess, yell at him and kick him out. I haven't seen it yet, but it was going viral the other day.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting queers on the sex offender registry is fantastic. Like, I really applaud you for that, and I think you deserve to be here for that. But I think your housing policy, and specifically your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs, and I think your policy, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza, and I think your
dude, gay Jews can't even go to pro-trans events anymore without being thrown out by all the pro-Palestinian people.
Policy on the genocide in Gaza is terrible. I think you do not belong here. I think you do not belong here. You do not belong here, Scott, anymore. It sucks because you've been.
Oh my God, is that a man? Ugh.
Wonderful. You've been wonderful for trans people, and you've been terrible. And you've been terrible. You've been terrible. You've been terrible on Gaza. You do not belong here anymore, Scott, and it breaks my fucking heart.
Oh my God.
It breaks
what a
my
nasty
heart.
protest.
It breaks my heart that someone who wrote good legislation for queers is so fucking terrible on Gaza. Scott, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say about Gaza? How could you do this to San Francisco? How could someone like you do this to San Francisco?
It's funny seeing them self-cannibalize, huh? Cannibalize each other.
Redeem yourself. Do something. Fuck you, Scott. I want.
Hey, you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Now you got to sleep in it.
I want to like the person who had such good legislation.
Dude, sometimes, you know, you're a little kid and they stick drugs up your butt to see hell, and you end up, doing pro-trans stuff, you either end up like Brother Nathaniel, a Christian monk that hates Jews, or you end up like Scott Wiener. Those are your paths. Which way, Jewish boy? Which way?
Trans rights.
Which way, Eastern Jewish boy?
We fucking hate Scott, I want to support someone who's so positive on trans rights, but you're a piece of shit on Gaza.
All right, dude, you made your point for your social media video. Okay, you don't seem unhinged. Dude, you don't think some pro-trans person killed Charlie Kirk? Do you see how unhinged they are?
How could you do that? How could you betray queers? How could you oppress people?
You stopped being queer the moment you started supporting Israel, you piece of shit!
You're not queer because you supported Israel. Dude, this guy, wow. Crazy. Keep me out of there. So this is interesting. Jake Shields, who's been lying and attacking me and slandering me for the last few weeks and months and even maybe going back years now, he tweeted out that he was demonetized on YouTube. And he's asking YouTube to reinstate his monetization. That's funny that he's monetized, because I recall seeing, and of course RT. For some reason, RT, I mean, everybody's been banned from YouTube. I was banned from YouTube for talking about this stuff 6 years ago. Do I get a retweet when I complain about it from any big influencer or RT? Of course not. Not even banned. He just gets demonetized, and it's a headline with RT. Weird, RT, huh? Weird thing for RT to post. And also, either he got demonetized a while ago and he's just complaining about it again now. If he just got demonetized, then apparently he's been doing stolen valor about being demonetized. Because he's been running these ads on his show for, I don't know, months, years, claiming he's demonetized everywhere. But now, only now he got demonetized? He could have been making he's got almost 200,000 subs. He could have been making tens of thousands of dollars a month on YouTube. He just called me a brokey, by the way. So he's accusing me of getting paid by Jews, but also accusing me of being broke for some reason and talking all this other shit. He complains about being demonetized. Meanwhile, I've been banned for covering all this shit when he was in Israel doing training the IDF to do UFC.
Hey guys, I'm demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support me and the podcast.
So you're claiming you've been demonetized everywhere. Meanwhile, you've been raking it in on YouTube and been monetized this whole time with all of your kooky guests and crazy stuff, way crazier shit than I ever got away with on YouTube. My channels get all banned. His stay up. He's raking it in on YouTube monetization, lying, claiming that he's been demonetized. Well, and then calling me and fed jacketing me and Jew jacketing me when I am banned and been debanked from PayPal, Patreon, Coinbase, Squarespace. All years ahead of the curve before October 7th, before COVID, before all these things. How is this not a big deal? He's been lying on his show. He's been monetized this whole time, claiming he's not. And not only now he got demonetized. What's going on? Tucker just interviewed the Russian arms dealer, Victor Bout. Yeah, I saw that. Dude, there's something going on with this. He was just on RT saying America's demonic recently. Now RT sharing this. Meanwhile, he's been claiming he's demonetized. What is going on? They're all attacking me and slandering me. A little suspicious. Makes you wonder.
Go to fightbackpodcast.com and you can buy some cool merch. Hey guys,
you can buy some cool Jesus flipping the money changers tables.
Demonetized everywhere.
Demonetized everywhere? Meanwhile, you're just complaining that you just got demonetized? Well, what do you guys think's going on? Look. Attention YouTube, demonetized and no reason as to why given. Can't apply. I stay within the guidelines and even edit episodes. YouTube says, thanks for bringing this to our attention. If he gets it back, meanwhile, my YouTube channel's banned, What does that tell you? Pretty crazy. Makes you wonder, did this just happen? Did this just happen? Or is everybody is everybody talking about it and you have already been demonetized? I think we need answers. Did you think no one would notice that you guys run ads in your videos all the time, that you're demonetized everywhere? That'd be a big scandal, right? It's like, it's stolen valor. Telling people to support you because you've been demonetized, meanwhile you are monetized. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Will419 $0 on does he ever make a tweet without making a spelling mistake? Smiley face emoji.
Yeah, he does make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I make spelling mistakes and typos all the time and stuff too, so I'm not going to be a grammar Nazi about it. But yeah, clearly he's, not the sharpest tool in the shed. But I want answers. I should just tweet and say, hey, when did you get demonetized? Because you've been claiming demonetized everywhere for I don't even know how long. Anyway, let's see. I will be back tomorrow, and I will get into the latest Candace kookery, exploding lapel mics, more debunking of their bullshit. And then I'll probably also do these clips of these guys, this Christian and Black Hebrew Israelite arguing. More Abrahamic bullshit circle jerk with the demon slayer. Anyway, let's see. It's crazy that, all these big kosher conspiracy YouTubers that aren't censored and allowed to go viral on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and everywhere. The kosher conspiracies go super viral. The flat earth bullshit, the Christian kosher ops, all of it. Anyway, appreciate you all. Oh, we hit the goal. Let's go. We smashed the goal for a Monday.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
You guys are amazing.
All righty then.
Alrighty then. You guys have a nice night. Let me know what you think in the comments. Share the links. Spread the links. Clip the show. Leave a comment. Give it a like. You know what to do. And I will see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the Substack private Zoom call book club going over the Pagan Parallels chapter. It'll be awesome. See you guys soon, and take care. No, we got to do a shorter one.